I'm Joe Buno.
I'm Emily Cody.
I'm Brittany Lawrence.
And I'm John Diaz, and this is what's happening.
So for those of you who don't know, Barack Obama visited the White House yesterday, the president-elect, in a traditional ritual, I guess you can say. Actually went to the White House with Michelle Obama, the soon-to-be First Lady, and visited the Bush family.
The good old Bushes. So the president and Obama spoke of war and financial crisis, whereas Laura Bush and Michelle Obama talked about raising daughters in the nation's most famous house.
No one is really quite sure what they talked about. There wasn't much press involved. It was very private. No advisors.
I've only seen one picture that was actually taken in the Oval
And neither of
Office.
them said anything that was discussed in the Oval Office.
It was very private, but according to sources, it was very cooperative and relaxed.
It was
meeting.
constructive, relaxed, and friendly.
And we have actually the photo that was taken right at the White House. We have it right here. It's on the cover of today's Daily News. Here we see Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and then if you flip it around, Laura Bush and George Bush. Little, I don't know, Daily News maybe a little biased there. I don't know if that was
Emily said it good.
Yeah, it looks almost as if like we're looking to the future with the Barack Obama, hopefully a bright future, and in the past we're going to put Bush administration behind us. And I believe Joe mentioned that there was a poll of 71%.
So, yeah, 71% of Americans public disapproved of how Bush handles his job as president.
Wow.
So you go from Barack Obama, who gets all this press and how everyone loves him, and then go to Bush, where not so much.
Right. It's going to be a complete role reversal. We're going to have a president who we don't believe in, someone who we don't believe is capable of running this country to its fullest, going to Barack Obama, where we have all the confidence in the world in, but he still has to prove himself.
I actually think it's crazy how that poll is 71%. I always thought, as munis may say, a lot more people didn't like Bush. I thought it was going to be more like 89%.
I think demographically, I mean, you have to look at the Northeast. I think if we saw this poll from a geographic perspective, I think the Northeast would be the most...
had the most distaste for the Bush administration.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, like, for example, Texas will always love Bush. He could blow up half the world.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, they'd still love him. So.
And it also has to do with parties. Whether you're like Republican, born, raised in a Republican area, if you may not like the president, you will still support him in the end, because that's a party you've always followed.
I know I voted for Bush his first term or second election, and I regret that so much.
I wish I could have voted. Too young.
So the meeting was quoted by a White House official as being relaxed and friendly. I can honestly tell you that I don't believe that to be true. I believe that there was definitely some discomfort there going on in the conversation, especially in the Oval Office. But that's what they said.
We're not allowed behind closed doors,
We
so
don't know.
we don't know.
All we know is, according to this White House official, is that it was relaxed and friendly.
It's very hard to think it may be very cooperative and relaxed because, you know, Bush being very right-sided and Barack Obama being fairly left-sided, it's hard to go from a conservative Republican administration to a more liberal Democratic side.
And that's what we were saying about Sarah Palin if she were to run in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It would just be two completely different people.
Right.
You have this conservative and you have this liberal, and if Obama doesn't do so well, people are going to vote for Sarah Palin, so they have a complete change.
Which was a big factor in this election because a lot of people felt that John McCain would just be, you know, a mimic to George W. Bush.
Exactly.
So
his policies would carry through and we'd have the same problems we're facing
I really
right
think
now.
that in the office, Obama was really taking into some of Bush's accounts to what he believed in, so he could go on both sides. So he wasn't just being, you know, a leftist. He was going with the right side, so people that didn't vote for him, he could earn their respect and show that he will be a good president and he can get things done
That's a good
for
way of putting
everybody.
it. Yeah, it is.
You know, like he said in his speech, you know, he's Americans together. How did he put it? He wants us all together as Americans and not, you know, divided down the middle and be separated.
You know, I bet you one thing that was extremely awkward was probably for Michelle Obama and Laura Bush.
Right? Can you imagine?
I mean, two mothers that are famous by world and national standards, and the fact that both of them were basically forced to talk by historic tradition, makes you wonder, I mean, according to the press, they were talking about raising their daughters and what it's like to live in the White House.
And stuff, how Michelle was going to look at schools.
And
That couldn't have been just
Michelle Obama did get a tour where the girls will be sleeping, which I thought was really neat.
Oh, that's very
Yeah,
cool.
where the girls
Mrs. Bush
bedrooms
gave her
would
a
be.
tour while the president-elect and the current president were in the Oval Office.
Yep.
They said that Mrs. Bush gave Michelle Obama a tour of the White House, and the meeting lasted.
Was it just one-on-one? Did they say
I
that?
believe it was,
Oh,
and then it lasted for a little over an hour, so that must have been a little bit of forced conversation for quite a while.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
But who knows? We could be completely wrong.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
they
they
could
might be
have
best
completely
friends.
they got along wonderful. You know, have the same, you know, topics.
Yeah, they could become best friends. Maybe they'll be pen pals from the White House. It could happen, America. Just believe it.
Did you guys hear how you can work for President-elect Obama?
Yeah, you were saying that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Thousands of jobs are to be handed to the new Obama administration. So if you go to www.change.gov, you can submit your resume and hopefully get a job.
Wow.
So our very own Joe Bonilla, the director of this show, actually submitted his resume.
And are there any
So I don't know
requirements or anything that
And
they
you know,
say?
they
Good
didn't really
connections.
say, it says, but this website won't get you too far. It's all about connections. So I don't know how good that's.
I don't know.
How
Joe's
far
going to
you're
have to
gonna
check
get.
his connections if
Yeah.
he's got any shot. No, but if I was Barack Obama, I'd hire Joe in a second. He is a leader and a role model for us all.
Hear that, Obama?
Joe
Pay
Bonilla,
attention.
all the way.
I know you're watching, Barack Obama. Listen to me. Hire Joe Bonilla. Bring you your coffee every morning. It'll work.
Did they list any of the details of the jobs made on flyers, or just
They just said the
administration?
Obama administration. So
I'm sure
I
they'll
guess
release more
it's probably from
details.
like secretaries to coffee getters to I don't even know.
So all of these
It's
jobs
in
are
thousands.
based be out of
Maybe
Washington, or is it could be like promoting Obama up here?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Good question.
Good question.
You have to go on the
We'll
website
have
and find
that
out.
for you next time.
I'd love to work in the White House. I think that would just be thrilling, right? I mean, that's the most historic mansion maybe in
With
the
the time
world.
we're in right now, we're in a very historical era with our first black president in office, or coming into office, I should
Yeah.
say. You know, it would be very interesting to see how everything will turn out. I hope for the best, but, you know, they say that Sarah Palin may be running in 2012, and who knows? I feel that she is the reason for the loss of the McCain election, but
Well, see, that's something
Yeah,
that we can
something
talk
for it,
about. Sarah Palin was quoted in the news yesterday, a general quote, that the reason for the Republican loss was the failed policies of the Bush administration. Now, obviously she's saying this because she doesn't want to take a lot of the heat, because a lot of people obviously are blaming Sarah
Yeah.
Palin for this Republican loss. She said, we want to get far away from what the present administration represented, and, quote, it's amazing that John McCain and I did as well as we did.
I agree with her 100%. I feel like people just pictured McCain and Bush as being the same person, and that's why they didn't vote for him. I mean, he was a lot like Bush, but he was so much different that I feel like he could have been a good. I mean, I voted for Barack Obama, but even if
I don't know. I
McCain
think
did
if
win, I feel
McCain was going to win, we were going to go in the same direction that we've been going. And I mean, he wanted to stay in war.
he's very
You know,
conservative.
but they say he's 90% like Bush. Maybe that 10% is all we needed to change the whole country around.
I
You-
think
you never
Obama
know.
is what we
You
needed.
never know, and we'll find out.
But either way, it was definitely a comment that could spur a lot of conversation, because obviously she plans on running in 2012. And how do you think that that's going to affect her relationship with the Republican Party? I mean, she basically just called out the Republican president of the past 8 years. I wonder if Bush is upset.
Well, on the way in this morning, as I was saying earlier, I heard her quoting, saying how she wished she spoke out more of her beliefs and what she believed in and wanted and thought about McCain, instead of just reading from a script, because the McCain campaign wanted her to stick strictly to the script. And there was a couple times that she did get off the
More
script.
than a couple.
And
Yeah.
the McCain campaign was angry with her.
Yeah.
They were angry with her. And I almost feel bad for her in a way, even though I don't support her and I don't like
I
her.
think
But
she did the right thing, though, because you don't want someone up there who's robotic. You don't want someone just
Yeah.
reading up from script. You
it
want
wasn't
someone
her.
to
It
speak
wasn't
from
her
within.
reading.
During the debates, I think that, you know, I was very surprised. You know, I knew Biden would do well, but she actually shined.
She did very
She's
well.
well.
She blew me
Yeah.
back during
She-
the first debate.
Definitely,
The first debate.
definitely.
And I think it's funny how they talk about how, you know, she had planned of calling him Joe and
Oh yeah, can I
don't
call you
know.
Joe when
Yeah,
we
I
first
think that
met?
kind of just happened, personally. I don't
Yeah.
know if that was planned out, but I mean,
Maybe she
I
got
really-
nervous.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, I don't think that many people have anything against Sarah Palin as a person. I mean, she's probably great and it would be great to meet her in real life. It's just most of us didn't feel like she's qualified to be vice president,
Yeah.
which a lot of people felt hindered the Republican Party.
And that's why
election.
maybe by 2012 she might be qualified, because
Right.
if she's in the spotlight for 4
4
years
years
and
is a
handles
lot of
it,
time.
and she can learn from all of her mistakes, she can become a good president.
She could.
And that's what people are worried about right now, because, you know, they always say that McCain's family history has, you know, the men dying at an early age. So what if he were to die in office? Would Sarah Palin be qualified enough to take over the role to run our country? And, you know, now that she has this presidential election behind her, she has a better feel for everything. And in 2012, she may have a better idea and have a better, form of her own ideas to portray to America.
She could very well be capable. Well, only time will tell. I mean, from what we know, she's going to be returning to Alaska, and she's going to continue her duties as governor. But with all the spotlight around her, we'll see her progress in terms of being involved.
Have you noticed when people say to her, so what's going to go on for 2012 and stuff, she always answers with, I'm going to enroll my daughter in kindergarten. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
I've seen it from so many different news segments when people have asked her, 2012, and all she ever says is, I'm going to enroll my daughter in kindergarten.
I've just heard her say she doesn't know. It's 2012. She's
that's
living
what she
right
says.
now.
She's living right now, taking care of her kids, and enrolling her daughter in
Which
kindergarten.
she should be living for right now. She shouldn't be worrying about that.
Like, I feel like she should come up with better answers. I don't know.
Being a Republican, you should be very conservative. You should have, set views, and her view should carry on to 2012. If she doesn't know what's going to happen in 2012,
she should just say, I don't know. I'm concentrating on my kids, but I don't know. It's just one of my pet peeves, I guess.
Well, I think the one thing that we can look at in Sarah Palin that we believe in, I think that she's a mother first and a politician second. I think that she really does care about her kids. There's been so much backlash on Sarah Palin for what happened in this election. Basically handicapped because a lot of people out there feel that she was the reason.
Okay, but then you say she's a mother first. Then you think that she's been running for the campaign. What if she had won for vice president? She has a young baby, 6 or 7 months,
and her daughter also has one of the right.
Okay, but she has a young baby that she just had a couple months ago that is, he has special disabilities. You can't be running the United States of America second in hand to the president with a young child like this that needs attention and needs,
I'm sure they can afford some attention.
Okay,
Hire like 5
so
nannies.
then it wouldn't have been her taking care of him. It would have been somebody
Her
that
children
she
would
had
be put
hired.
secondary then afterwards.
Yes.
Right, and don't forget there's Todd Palin. There is the dad too. I mean, it's not just all Sarah.
That is true.
He's more than
Now, what does Todd do? Does any of us know?
He's like in coal mining. I don't know. He's not like a suit guy. I feel like he's in coal mining or something weird like that. Like he's a lumberjack.
He does live in Alaska, so definitely.
Surprisingly, he hasn't gotten that much press.
I've actually personally never seen a picture of him, so the publicity on him must be very minimal.
I don't think he likes the spotlight very much because he's very laid back. I think he's a little bit, old school per se.
Very taken aback by everything.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. His wife was running for vice president, one of the most powerful positions in the world.
And she's also governor of Alaska, their hometown, so she's obviously very well known around there, so maybe he feels a little bit in the shadows.
In the shadow, exactly. Yeah.
Definitely looks like he's in the shadow when she's standing up there. And,
$150,000 wardrobe.
I
heard that she was going through her closet the other day, picking out what belongs to the Republican Party and what belongs to herself, and returning it all. The press made sure they said that.
Oh,
it's like,
so you said something that she was cooking for the press the other day?
She was cooking for journalists. She was making chili or something, or chili dogs.
Is she trying to portray herself as like a Martha Stewart?
I don't know.
I don't know.
She said she doesn't like the media, and then now she's in front of journalists.
Right. On the whole clothes issue, do you really want your vice president being a celebrity icon like that with them, the media is so concentrated on what she's wearing, who she's wearing, where she got it, how much she's spending on it?
Well, she also is the first first female woman. So maybe that had to do with it, because they're not used to going, oh, where'd you get that suit?
I did see her on the news making a point after the election, after she had lost. She was saying, you don't see the media zooming in on Biden or Obama, of seeing what makeup they wear, what hairspray they had. Yeah, I almost could relate to that and felt bad because this is, the era that women are finally getting up there.
It's ironic you say that though, because if you actually read the article from the New York Times, in the first paragraph of Bush meeting with Obama, they have listed exactly what Mrs. Bush wore and exactly what Michelle Obama wore, saying she wore like an orange-colored dress, and then Mrs. Bush wore a brown-colored suit. So, women are much more in the eye of fashion for America, whereas, the presidents and the men wear, the suits may be nice, but do your traditional suit. Exactly.
Well, when Kennedy was assassinated, Jackie O. Kennedy was wearing a pink suit, and it's so famous to this day because people talk about this, because I'm saying of clothes, of how we think of women, in the office clothes. She was wearing a pink suit, and she would not take that suit off because it had blood all over her, and people wanted her to take it off, and she wouldn't take it off because she knew down down the line that people are going to be looking at what she was wearing and what happened to her and what was on her clothes, and it was going to be a very, and that's like, that outfit is in a museum now.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, back to what you said, I expect more from the New York Times. I mean, especially on something so prestigious as the current president meeting with the president-elect. You'd think that they would be focusing more on, maybe speculating on more about what they were actually talking about.
I don't think they have access to that. I feel like
Right,
that's
I
why.
think
And I feel like they had more
was a
access.
filler almost.
Yeah, exactly. They had more access to the ladies, so they talked more about that.
Yeah.
They talked more about Michelle going to see their schools that the daughters. What the daughters' names? You guys know?
Can't think of
All right.
those.
That's horrible.
Well, they're not the first daughters.
They're not the first
but-
daughters
So we'll learn
yet.
them.
Tomorrow, get it.
They are going to this new private school that they're looking at, that the Clintons went to, Hillary Clinton's daughter. So I feel like they were concentrating more on that than the Obama or Bush, because they had
Not one
they had
advisor,
access to
not one
that.
advisor,
Yeah.
that would happen.
Right.
Well, speaking about the White House, I was reading an article on Yahoo yesterday. There's some fun facts about the White House. Do you know that when, the president, wakes up in the morning, they have a staff of 80 serving on him, ready to get ready with
I can't even
Ready to
start
go.
of the day.
80 people.
I mean, between waiters and chefs and dog walkers and servers ready to attend to
Must be
the
nice.
president's children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable with having one server,
And I
doing
feel
something
bad
like
about my
that.
mom making my breakfast, let alone having 80 people.
So 80 people, that's unbelievable. Another thing,
Getting paid good money though.
Yeah, that's true.
the personal chefs in the first week in the White House will ask the president, the first lady, and the Obama daughters what their favorite foods are and what they like. So no matter what it is, the chef will be
Are these
ready
personal
to prepare
chefs
something.
like morning, noon, and night? Or are they like 24 hours a day, all day
Basically
long?
24 hours a day.
Can you imagine that waking up 3 in the morning, wanting an
An
omelet?
Or
Yeah,
a nice
next-
big steak.
yeah, just call up room service and have it delivered
City
in
hotel,
15 minutes.
potatoes, yeah. Room service.
Also, on a recreational standpoint, there's a bowling alley in the basement.
I heard
And a
about that.
movie
I saw
theater.
that.
Yeah, and a movie theater.
And a
Up-
half court, basketball court.
That's the big one, because Barack Obama loves
Loves
basketball. It's definitely a passion of his. And there is already a half-court basketball hoop in the White House.
Mhm.
But I think he's going to expand and make it a full court. And, because this is something that he
Don't they
does
say
to
that-
take pressure off himself.
Every president that comes in changes the White House a little bit to improve it.
to
So maybe that's
also to
what
leave something behind for
Yeah.
future presidents.
Maybe
Do we
that's
know
one
what
of the
Bush
things.
did to improve the White House?
You know what, they said it on the news yesterday. I know Hillary Clinton added a bunch of antiques and stuff. I know she
Mhm.
did that, but I forget what Laura did.
Right. Some other ones, Gerald Ford built a pool behind the West Wing, or he didn't exactly build it, but he had his administration build it. Another one was President Clinton, President Bill Clinton, had a track. He was a big fan of running and staying in shape. He had
This
a
is
track.
practically like a hotel.
Yeah,
Everything you
it
need
is.
right
Well,
in your one
Yeah,
place.
it's all there.
Before the Kennedys, Jackie O. Kennedy was the first one to redo the whole White House. She got all like the first beds that were in the White House. She made it, an actual, so you could walk through and see what it was like when Washington, Adams was in there. And ever since Jackie Kennedy did that, then each president started to make their own effort or
Adjustment. I
adjustment
think that's
to it.
kind of cool.
It
That's
is
very
nice.
nice.
I would love to go and visit
What
the
happens
White
if
House.
you make an adjustment and it's not good? Like what happens? If it
Like
just comes out
paint the
ugly?
Lincoln bedroom
Yeah,
pink, or
something
something
like that.
Does
ridiculous like
anyone know
that.
if these adjustments come out of your own pocket, or is it
I'm sure they
funded?
do.
No,
I-
probably
No.
not.
Probably
Definitely
not, but
Even if it does, I mean, they make enough money a year.
$400,000 a year.
To worry about, a couple,
Not too
a
bad.
little bit of cash going their way.
And that $400,000 pretty much goes right in their pocket since they have everything done for
Everything
them.
done, and they will for the rest of their lives.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So we have some Albany news. Do you have some?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right, well, most of you receive a student success notice in your Albany emails, but I'm sure that, how many of you guys read your student success emails?
I actually do.
I'll read the first paragraph.
And if it's
Catches my eye,
important,
maybe I'll read a little bit
Occasionally,
more.
yeah.
A lot
All
of
right.
them seem to be very repetitive lately, though, with
So
the dangers.
the dangers, well, that's what I was going to talk about. Just a little reminder this week, in the student success notice that we did receive, Vice President for Student Success, Christine, says that recently several robberies and assaults have occurred in the Midtown area located around the South Alumni Quad Range. Does anyone live around there? Do you guys hear about this?
No.
No.
The victims in these crimes have been UAlbany students and non-college students alike. The reality is that the city of Albany has criminal activity similar to any other urban environment. If you live in the city of Albany or visit the city, it is very important that you exercise a level of personal safety awareness above and beyond what you might use in non-urban environments. If you live in the city or go out in the city, I want you to keep two things in mind. One, do not walk on the streets in an inebriated state, as this makes you a more likely victim. Two, walk in groups of 2 or more. Why? Because the FBI reports that 90% of assaults occur when the victim is alone or with one other person. Doing these things, Christine says, will significantly lower your risk, but it won't eliminate your risk of this happening. So you should always watch
Did
yourself.
you hear about this new assembly kind of thing? It's called Size Doesn't Matter when it comes to safety. So it's going to be Wednesday, November 19th, so tomorrow. It's presented by Erin Weed. It's in the ballroom from 8 to 9:30. So what it really is it's a presentation of how you can protect yourself in situations like that. How, even if you're small and little, it doesn't really matter because you can still protect yourself. Right. Yeah, self-defense.
In high school, we took actually self-defense classes. It was a requirement of your physical fitness classes. And it's very ironic because, you know, like small little tricks that you can do with your hand, like, you know, to escape a grasp or something like that, you know, I went up against probably a 200-pound fit karate specialist and, you know, you're able to break away. Not easily, but, you know, with a little technique guidance, it's manageable.
Well, you know, after the whole shooting with our, you know, fellow students, I lived on South Lake Avenue, and right after that happened, I moved out. I got a new apartment because I used to come home from class at like 10, 11 o'clock at night and park a mile or 2 miles away from my apartment building and walk alone to my apartment building, and I never did feel safe. And then once this incident happened with the shooting, I was just like, I'm out of here.
Which is why I think next year we'll see a lot more kids either staying on campus instead of moving downtown or moving downtown back onto campus. They have that walk alone program.
Going to be one big fight to get on Empire.
Right, definitely. That walk alone program, you know, which is, I think some students are actually fighting for it now. It only goes until 11 p.m. at night, and the library is open until 3 a.m. in the morning. So, you know, it's almost, I shouldn't say it's pointless, but at the same time, you know, students are going to be out past 11 p.m., and that time should really be extended to help those students.
And I think that a lot of prospective students who are very interested at the University of Albany are obviously going to look at the safety issue because no parents want their kids get put in harm's way.
The Don't Walk Alone is a really big incentive, and if the time was extended, I think it would, you know, persuade, you know, if parents are iffy about, you know, the safety issues, it really might put someone over the edge to making a decision to come here or not.
I mean, it's really scary. Albany is such a small little city. You know what I mean? There really is not a lot going on in the Albany town.
In the big scheme of things, you know, compared to New York City even.
And I don't understand how, you know, cops, I mean, we have good cops, but I just don't understand how we're still worried about this, and we're still, you know, worried about walking in the streets alone.
Everywhere you go, the streets have massive signs that, you know, are flashing police activity in the area, police activity in the area, and you see 3 cops for every street. And like on Halloween night, if anyone went out, like there was probably 10 cops for every street, and there was still multiple girls being raped, girls stabbed, multiple boys were stabbed as well. I think a girl was actually shot that night too.
Really?
And, you know, I'm not sure if she was a UAlbany student. I don't think that's why we got an email about it, but I did read, my mom read something because I'm from the local area.
That's crazy.
Well, you know, something that's very important to note is we can't blame the police for the safety issues. You know, when Richard Bailey, our fellow student...
But they are what makes us, you know, they protect us. They are
absolutely,
safety.
but you have
we can't do anything. If
but
we run into an issue, we're not, you know, we're not...
You have to ask for everyone to help out, because I can tell you that when Richard Bailey was shot, it was in the paper that there was a, you know, house of college students nearby, and, you know, they were just hanging out watching some TV, and they heard a bang. You know, and they laughed it off.
You're
and
not
they thought it was
used to
fireworks.
hearing a gunshot.
Right.
You're not used to that. So when you hear something like that, you always feel like, oh, it must have been a car backfire or a firework or something. So when you do hear that, it's just, you don't know what to do. Like, they just brush it off.
Yes, but the point I'm trying to make is that everyone can help. You know, if you see a girl, guys out there, if you see a girl walking alone at night, I mean, don't approach in a creepy manner, but maybe, you know, just keep an eye out. Because you never know what's going to happen when people walk alone at night. That's
right.
basically
Like,
the
you
truth.
know, I know I was personally approached by some, you kid trying to help me out, I might be a little sketched out,
Right.
but, like, walk a few steps behind them, walk, 10 feet
I
behind
don't know,
them.
a few steps behind, when I walk into my apartment and I
That
hear
could be
somebody
creepy.
behind me, I am
That's true.
freaked out. I
That's
try not to even turn around just because I'm so scared. I put my hood over my head and just walk and walk as fast as I can.
Well, maybe you, Albany, can divert some more money to safety with the actual tuition hike that is proposed.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Another huge topic we didn't talk about
So
yet.
if this bill is passed, I believe it's $1,039, $1,040?
It's actually, the exact figure is $1,090.
Oh.
1,090. It's
Which is a
500
lot of
and
money.
somewhat.
And $549 would be due up front in the spring '09 semester for the fall 2009 semester.
Jeez.
So already we are looking at
You go to a
$1,000.
school to save money, and then they just hike up the prices.
And now they're just especially this is the worst time to do this to
Yeah.
us too.
The economy, absolutely.
I'm struggling as it is. I have my own apartment and I have 3 jobs and going to school full time and I'm struggling. I really am struggling. And now this, I mean, I can't even take out any more financial aid and I'm sure that's a lot.
Loans are going to be harder
Loans,
to
right.
Absolutely,
attain.
absolutely.
Do you want to hear a good way to save some dough?
Yeah, please.
They have Style Your Soul. This is a new program. You can get a brand new pair of shoes and improve the life of children all over the world. So Tom's Style Your Soul party is going to be on November 17th. It's sponsored by Presidential Honor Society. So what it is, it's going to be in the Transfer Commuter Lodge, which is downstairs in the campus center. You walk in, you make a left on the right-hand side. So it's $42.
So you make your own shoe?
So you design your own shoe.
That's really
So think
cool.
about what shoes cost, right?
Oh, yeah. Easily $100.
So this is going to be $42, so save you some money. And every shoe that they make and design, they'll donate a pair of shoes to a child in Africa, South America, or the United States.
It's great cause.
So it's November 17th, it's from 6 to 9 p.m. in the Transfer Commuter Lounge.
I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I'm not good at art. If I made a pair of shoes, they'd look terrible.
I believe they have designers there helping you,
Okay.
so they'll help you out.
Thank God, because
I would definitely need the input of someone else, definitely.
I don't know how to sew or anything like that. Art? I'm a communication major. That's
Not my
basically
forte.
it.
Well,
All right, well, just a quick reminder that there will be no classes Wednesday the 26th, the Wednesday right before Thanksgiving. Classes will resume Monday at 8 a.m., putting us until December 1st. Then it's time to start thinking about getting our Christmas spirit out.
Yes,
Christmas
absolutely.
My
time.
favorite time of the year.
today's
Yeah.
supposed to be a high of 44 and partly cloudy, so the cold is coming. It's Christmas time.
So
Yep.
keep warm, guys.
So we could go too. But now it's starting to see the winter season come in.
All right, well, keep warm, and I'll see you tomorrow
Broadcasting live,
in the campus center.
I'm Brittany.
I'm John.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Emily. Have a great day.